EV subsidies in Germany have gone up in smoke faster than a lithium battery and thermal runaway, leaving the EV market in complete turmoil. This is a huge problem because, as we must all know by now, the only way governments can get people into electric cars is by bribing them with tax relief or subsidies or other incentives. Nobody would, of their own free will, at least if they were of sound mind, pay double the price of a regular internal combustion engine car for less convenience, the hassle of charging, higher insurance and catastrophic depreciation. Even with all the sweeteners, the market is reaching saturation point, as all the EV fanboys already have their milk floats and nobody else will touch them with a barge pole. If you're after EV and net zero sanity, you've come to the right place. If you like this kind of content, it'd be great to have you as a subscriber, and don't forget to enable all notifications so you never miss another video. So the background to this is that the German government thought it would be clever to appropriate 60 billion euros of unused pandemic funds for the purposes of its Climate and Transformation Fund. Never mind about public services, schools and hospitals. You could recruit an awful lot of nurses for 60 billion euros. But instead it was headed straight into the green hole, kind of like a black hole which sucks in everything around it never to be seen again, but for green initiatives. Fortunately, however, the German Constitutional Court had other ideas. Germany cannot shift KUF funds to climate projects, court rules. Germany's highest court ruled on Wednesday that the government's plan to repurpose tens of billions of euros from a pandemic fund to help finance environmental projects violated the nation's constitution. The decision threatens to rip a hole in the country's budget and complicate its transition to a greener economy. The ruling means that the government of Chancellor Olaf Scholz cannot shift 60 billion euros, about $64.6 billion, earmarked for tackling the COVID-19 pandemic, into a special fund aimed at helping Germany meet ambitious goals to reduce carbon emissions. The case was brought before the court by the centre-right opposition, which argued that the government could not redirect emergency funds raised for one purpose to another without approval by lawmakers. Mr. Scholz said his government would respect the ruling and pledged to swiftly revise the affected fund. And one of the first things to go, of course, was the generous EV subsidies. Cash-poor Germany ends private EV subsidies. Faced with a severe budget crisis, the German government has abruptly ended the subsidy of up to €4,500 for the purchase of a new EV. The measure only applies to the private market. The so-called environmental bonus to support the purchase of EVs on Germany's private market was supposed to end on 31st December. Instead, it was cancelled with immediate effect on 17th December. Government incentives for the purchase of EVs by corporate customers already ended on 1st September this year. That phase-out had been announced well ahead of time, so it had no unexpected effects on the purchasing intentions of corporate fleets. The suddenness with which the subsidies for purchasing private EVs were cancelled is an indication of the seriousness of Germany's budget crisis. Only a few days earlier, the German government had said it would not continue the subsidy in 2024 at the previously agreed reduced rate of €3,000. By cancelling the subsidy now instead of at the end of the year, the government effectively prevents the private market to go on an EV buying binge, saving itself the subsidies it would otherwise have had to pay out. So this will have serious effects for Germany's push towards electrification and will compound the already sluggish demand for EVs that's affecting not just Europe, but the whole world. To paraphrase Margaret Thatcher, the trouble with green subsidies is that you eventually run out of other people's money. So that's just about it for this one. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you've got any tips or stories, you can hit me up on Instagram or by email. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.